Welcome to the Knowledge Entrepreneurs Show, where we celebrate the innovators driving change in the education industry. At Edison OS, we've worked with over 500 knowledge entrepreneurs to turn their edtech ideas into profitable businesses. Hi, Gina. Good morning. Welcome to the Knowledge Entrepreneurs Show. Thank you so much for taking your time out to be here today with me here. Likewise, Gina. Gina, so before we get into everything about course creation, a little bit about yourself. What's your journey been like up until the point you decided to get into course creation coaching? Wow. Yeah. Great. So would you like to share with us what are those principles of course creation? Great. Gina, just taking a couple of steps back, right? I've spoken to a few course creation experts or coaches, who help people with launching courses. One of the things that they say is sell first, bill later. Is this something that you guys followed as well? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. 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 First, before I dove deep into sell first, bill later, I just wanted to make sure that you practiced it or you believed it, because different people have different principles. But then this is something that I've kept hearing, and given that you are an advocate of this idea, You spoke about validating your courses or your ideas, right? Now, not everybody start off with audience, right? So, do you have to really wait, build your audience to a certain amount of a certain number before you start validating, or are there other hacks to just hit the ground running without any followers as well? Yeah, yeah, right, 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 right. And Gina, you said one of the things that people say is, I don't have an audience. I at least need 50 people, waiting to buy stuff. So I'm sure this is one of the most common things that you hear from people that you work with. What are other common misconceptions that course creators have before they can, jump into action? Right, right, right. Hmm. Okay, right. Hmm. Yes. Yeah, yeah. The imposter syndrome. Right. Got it. Gina, you said picking a niche is kind of a way to go about. So people now, say for example, you spoke about this real estate guru, who's had so much of working experience and stuff like that. But uh, the number of years that you've put in on your work sometimes can make you get out of that imposter syndrome. But then there are a lot of people who are young, who are in their mid 20s, who really do not have that age to support them, but they do know that, they are good at something. How do they go about narrowing down on a niche? Right, right, right. Right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah. Got it. Gina, since we're talking about page, it's kind of building up like a use case, and it's really, real, and it's not just concepts. We're talking about somebody who you really worked with. So you said it took 2 years for you to build a course for page. So what are the challenges? Right, right, right. Yeah, or let me kind of, rephrase this question here again, right? I mean, out of curiosity, building a course seems like you know something, you're just going to produce it either as a text, PDF, video. What's there to be taught here? Please tell me. I'm playing the devil's advocate here. Right, 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 right. Got it, Gina. Yeah. Uh, I just rephrased the question like that just to elicit this. That's it. Because there are a lot of people, who might be wondering, what is the fuss about creating courses? I mean, I know I'm just going to record everything, but then you clearly mentioned, look, you can be an expert. That doesn't mean you're a good teacher, right? So in when experts are transitioning to become teachers, what are the most common things that they lack, Gina, from your experience? Right. Yeah. Right. 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 Wow. Okay. Right. 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 Gina, you mentioned a very important point. You said you did not know that's how that course creator has structured it. If you'd have known that's how he had structured it, you may not have bought it. So you wouldn't have bought it. So that clearly indicates that there are certain things that you got to communicate to the people who are about to buy your course. So what are those things these days? How much do you communicate? Right. Mm, right. Right. Mm, 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 right. 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 Got it. Gina, a while back, you were talking about you're working with professors and, like, for example, if there are 7 steps, 7 outcomes that they promise, how is it structured? There are videos, quizzes, and so on and so forth. I'm sure it's not one size fits all for all sorts of people, right? I'm sure some courses will have videos, some courses will not have videos, some will have just PDFs. They call something called as a swipe file these days. I see on Twitter a lot. Download my swipe file and stuff like that. So, what are the different formats of courses that you usually recommend to people, and what are the reasons behind each of the formats? Right. Yeah. Right. Right. Hmm. Right. 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 Hmm. Yeah. 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 Right. 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 Got it. Gina, you spoke about, people having different strengths when it comes to consuming content. Some people could be visual, auditory, kinesthetic, so on and so forth. Has there been a situation where you encouraged one of your students to target each one of these people, just visual or visually dominant courses? Same course, one is visually dominant, one is auditorily dominant, and maybe something like this is as has that happened? Would you encourage somebody to do that? Right. 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 Got it. And let's just going back to page, and then after creating the course and stuff. So can you walk us through, uh if any, what are the kind of validations you did along the way while building the course? Mhm. Right. 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 Mm. Right. 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 Mm. Right. 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 Great. Gina, one very interesting thing, right? Which could this could be a total problem solver, because when you were describing about how Paige went about validating, you said she found about seven emerging real estate agents, and you said how did she find them? These were the people who were coming up to her and asking her questions. So for people wondering, where do I go find these people? Easiest way, one of the many ways, is just be aware when people are coming and casually asking you something. That could probably be the seed, and you can start off from there and just identify five people like that. They're coming to you, so might as well ask them more question, and I think that could be a very good starting point. Uh, because this is, yeah. And if you want a equivalent of this real life interaction, same thing online can be. If you're sharing something and if people are engaging with your post and if they're asking you a question, I think they are the ones that you need to identify. DM them. Right. 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 Mm. Mm. Right. 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 Gina, yeah, Gina, see, fundamentally, right? Everybody's got as much information on internet as they want to, acquire some knowledge, learn something, and stuff like that. Everybody knows that, but there is, beyond the knowledge that course creators share, there's something else that's working for people, right? They're paying for something a little more than the knowledge that people are offering. What's that? If you have to, bring it down to three things. Right, right, right. Mm. Hmm. Right. Mm. Right. 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 Got it. Just to go a little bit more deeper into the concept of community, right? Uh, Now, as a course creator, as someone who's responsible for that community, do you just have people find each other, or is there any role that the course creator has to specifically play? And what is overdoing and what is underdoing? So, what's that balance? Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, sure. Uh, Gina, we spoke about the different modalities of transmitting knowledge. We spoke about the importance of community. Uh, have you involved gamification? It, so, I mean, how important is that? And how much is right gamification? Because sometimes people lose themselves in the gamification part while doing that, and the course gets backtracked and stuff like that. So what's just optimum, and how important is gamification in your view? Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Hmm. Right. 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 Got it. Got it. Got it. Gina, moving about action now, there are two sets of people, right? Now, there are people who are waiting to perfect their course production, the video quality, audio, and stuff like that. And then there are probably people, who are so much into action that they may not have optimum quality. But where do you side yourself with? Would you encourage people to err on the side of quality or non-quality in the for the betterment of action? Yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. 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 Given that you spoke about live, are people most likely to forgive more, mistakes on live versus mistakes on recorded courses? Mm. Right. 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 Gina, you've spoken about your accelerator. You've mentioned it a few times. I'm a little curious. Can you explain what happens in the accelerator a little bit more in detail? Okay. Right. 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 Got it. Great. So, what one can get at the end of your accelerator is have their starter course launched. Great. And you spoke about grassroots selling as one of the week's area of focus in your accelerator program, right? Could you talk a little bit more about that? So, what I mean to ask is now the people who join your accelerator program, are there any prerequisites? Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Great. There's this whole topic of how to use your network. I'm sure a lot of people have no idea about, and you could go. There's so much to talk about. But yeah, coming back, you spoke about having a result, and a lot of people uh, watch people create and sell courses, and they think, oh, I could do this too. Now, my question to you here is this, right? There are some courses which are like really needs a lot of skill and stuff like that, which anybody cannot just go there, replicate in a week and do it. But there are some skills which people think, oh my God, people pay for these. So can you give some examples of, course-based businesses where, which feels like anybody can do it? Right. Okay. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. 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 Gina, my next topic is about pricing, and I have a question to start off with. Same course, is it possible to sell it for as low as $25? And the same course, can you sell it for $250? You know what I mean by this, right? No, everything's same. Everything's same, right? How you're selling it, yeah. So, yeah, right. Wow. Yeah, I don't know too. Okay. Okay, okay, got it like that. Okay, love addiction. Now I get it. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. 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 Mm. Great. I'm going to get back to the example you gave about pages $297. But before that, I'd like to go back to this conversation that I had with one of the sales coaches. He's also a math, he's built a math software and stuff. I just was having a brief conversation. And then he said, I was asking him about the same question. Can you sell the same thing for different prices? He said, yes, absolutely. And then he mentioned the same thing that you did. It's all about how you position the transformation emotionally to people. And because you might be giving a $10 product, but how much it means to them emotionally, what it, so, that's what you're tapping into. And whatever you spoke kind of fit really well in that zone for me, so I just thought I'll share it. But coming back to, you said $297 for pages course is too less, right? Now how do you know something's too less or too more, too much? How do you know that? Right, 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 right. Got it. Right, right. Got it. Gina, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, please. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'd like to clarify here. What I meant was, let's imagine there's the same course. You're running a A/B test. You're giving it to two different people. But both of them are taking different approaches. They're packaging it differently. The stuff inside is same. Now, is that possible? Is that doable? So, how much? That's what I meant. I'm so sorry if I put it any other way. Yeah, so this is the angle in which I was saying. So, simply by packaging and the way, just by modifying your messaging, can you sell at different prices? Is what my original question was. That's where I was coming from. Or, got it. Great. Uh, I was going to ask you about. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. I just lost my train of thought. That's okay. Okay, yeah. You spoke about, of all the things in the accelerator that you spoke about, one of the things that you mentioned was also the tech. Although it's may not be the most important things. So, how much should people focus on tech, and what are the basic things that are enough for people? Yeah. Hmm. Right, right. Right, right. If you just have to, if you look at the tech as putting together of some components, what would the components that you'd say are non-negotiable? Let's say, for example, you said community is very important, right? So let's say community of forums is one of the important components. What are the things you think would need for a basic platform must-haves? Right. Yeah. Right, right, right. 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 Got it. Got it, Gina. Gina, you know, in your business, you play the role of consulting or coaching people, guiding them on what to do, and your students are the ones with that knowledge, that expertise. Now, there could be some cases where your students would do all of the things, but has there been situations where many parts of that have been outsourced? And if it was, I'd just like to know what are those things, just for the sake of people listening. There are so many avenues for getting employed, for getting work. I'm asking this question from that angle. Yeah, yeah. Right, right. Yeah, right. Right. Great. And uh, yeah, when it comes to sales and marketing, right? You spoke about grassroots marketing and how to use your own network. Now, has it been a situation where someone just did not have a network at all and you have to directly jump into paid marketing? Right. Okay. Hmm. Right. 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 Got it. So, you're saying that, it works in stages, but let's say, um, when it comes to sales, you're saying DMs, you make calls and stuff like that, right? um it's very clear at this point, if you have a course to sell, you better be on the social media, uh probably start off offering the same thing for free? Would that be a good place to start? Purely, I'm asking from, from the perspective of people who have zero following now, or would this be too desperate to sell something for free? Right. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. 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 Got it. And another very interesting thing that you said about one of the avenues to go be visible to a lot of people is approach somebody who's already selling some course and then do a collaboration with them. Could you give an example? What are the things that you've successfully pulled off like that? Right. Hmm. Right. 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 Mm. Wow. Okay. Yeah. 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 This is exactly what I was hoping to arrive at, right? Because every time it's, I mean, I don't mean to hack it or find a shortcut or something like that. But then there's a smart way of doing it. Let's say, for example, somebody's got great systems and processes in their mind. It's so demotivating to know that, oh man, you need to start, you need to spend a lot of time, build an audience, and then do it. But then if you want to do that, it's fine. But then if you are somebody who thinks, no, there has to be a simpler way, I think what you said, you go find people who've already got audience that would need what you're giving, but then they are not doing that in a very formal way. And you just have to reach out to them, say, you know what, I can add value to your audience. We can split 50-50 or something like that. Right. 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 Got it. Gina, now little bit of futuristic things, if I can say that. There is this talk about metaverse, avatars, and stuff like that. people are already incorporating such things in their training programs. So, are you there yet? What is it like? Wow. Okay. Right. 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 So I can share a couple of conversations that I've had with people. Say, for example, I was talking to somebody. His name is Joshua Schulman. He's based out of Los Angeles, and he teaches multiple things. Right now, he's planning to have his avatar. Himself, but but in a virtual way, and then teach something. Yeah, and he's planning on gamifying stuff. Where if people, do an action, a physical action. That may kind of say, for example, if you want to slack when you're in an online setup, you're in your home. Let's say, for example, if you slack, which might lead you to feel a little more lazy, that the machine will automatically detect that kind of a movement, and it'll reduce your points and stuff like that. So whatever is possible through gamifications for you to keep you in the most optimum condition, basically driving you towards that course completion, or getting the complete outcome, getting the complete desired results from whatever you're doing. So this is what I've heard of late. But yeah, I watched a movie called Ready Player One. I think it came. Yeah. I was talking to somebody. They said, you know what? For starters, if you want to talk about metaverse and avatars, probably this is you got to watch this movie, and then you'll get a lot of ideas. So right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah. Got it. Gina, now talking about what you do as a course creation expert. You spoke about helping other people create, build courses, and then you working for others to probably you take up the project to do it on their behalf. So I just want to understand, in your business line, what are the different avenues that uh, you know you've got to work on, and are you niching down? Are you rejecting a lot of work, and are you kind of choosing, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to do? Right, 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 right. I was going to ask you if you also help them find a result. Got it. Got it, Gina. Probably my final set of questions. Now, it's always about individuals who have a result, and the kind of people that we've spoken about, something that they've worked on themselves and it's come out well. That's one style. Now, have there been people, who come from a point of view that, they're not an expert in anything, but they want to create a bunch of courses, in different uh, aspects of life. So has there been, of course they have the result with them, they have the content with them, but they're not an expert themselves. Maybe they purchase the content somewhere and then they want to repurpose and then sell it in a new thing. Is that a thing? Hmm. Right. 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 Got it, Gina. Gina, there are already platforms like Udemy and a lot of such things, right? Have there been instances where you use those places for validating course ideas based on how many sales a particular course or a subject has there? Right. 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 Got it. And finally, before we conclude, you've spoken about working with Tony Robbins, Amy Porterfield. So if you can share some interesting stuff, or some of the most valuable things. Learning is one thing, but you've seen them do some crazy things that they've spoken about, right? Anything that you'd like to share? Yeah. Right. Right. Great. Gina, I think everything that I wanted to talk to you about, I think I've spoken, I've touched upon all the topics, and thank you so much. There's been a lot to take away, and one of my most the quest for one of my the thing has been, how do people with no followers but a lot of expertise start off? I think I've got something very close. Find somebody who's got similar audience, go try and collaborate with them. I think that's the most smartest that I've able to kind of come and discuss with you. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, 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 yes, right. Yeah. I think no's are inevitable, right? I mean, if you get nine no's, you can get at least one yes. There are no yeses without no's. Great, great. Gina, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish, based on the feedback, if there are more questions, I'll probably reach out to you back again for a part two or something later. And yeah, thank you so much.